just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.
Welcome to the podcast.
We didn't clap.
Oops. I'll ready?
Yeah.
You want to count down?
Yeah, we'll go 3.
On 3?
3, 2, yes. 1, 4, 3.
Nice.
Do we need to redo that?
No. We were actually, in my ears, we were dead on. Like we were together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Was it off? Could you hear my snap? I don't know.
I can barely hear it, but.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I think Zoom is a lot better with synchronicity than Skype is. We're on Zoom now, everybody.
We've upgraded. I'm trying to be more professional, even though we did this yesterday and
one of us was not professional.
The actual professional of the group.
I forgot to check if everything was set up correctly, and guess what? It wasn't. And now we got a whole episode that just will never air because...
Which was actually a pretty solid episode, I think.
It was pretty good. It wasn't our best, but it definitely wasn't our worst.
I felt it was pretty free-flowing.
It was very free-flowing. So today's episode, what you're about to hear is really going to suck because we've used all of our week's material.
Yes.
Yesterday. There is just one thing right off the bat that I have to say that I said in last episode, but I have to be sure to say it, is there's a redaction. And in the wives episode, our previous episode, I said that my sister, Megan, had told me a story once about how she had sneezed directly into her husband's mouth. Apparently, it was false, as I have been told by my sister in a series of very upset texts that I need to retract it because it was incorrect information and that she never told me that. But she did, but I'm redacting it. But she did tell me that. I do remember that happening. She says it never happened. I'm saying it did. I remember that. So do what you will with that information.
You're redacting, but not.
But not, yeah. It's like when a politician gets caught in a scandal and then they have to go on like a press thing and say, I'm so sorry that I did this, that I cheated on my wife or my taxes. I feel so bad about it when really they don't because they're politicians and they're sleazy. But so that's what this is. It's a unapologetic apology. And that's where we'll leave it. You're looking like a serious mountain man right now. The beard is, I think that is the beardiest beard I've ever seen on you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it more scruffy and long.
That's true.
As that.
It's very unmanaged because it was actually longer at your wedding, but it was groomed.
Ah, okay.
This has been, I haven't had a haircut since your wedding, which was 2 months ago?
Yeah. I was one of my other groomsmen I was texting with yesterday, and he sent me a picture of himself. He was like, "Your wedding was the last haircut I had."
So it is getting a little rough. Lots of hats in my days.
I don't see anybody, and I wear hats all day.
Dude, long hair just drives me nuts. At work, if I'm not wearing a hat and I just have safety glasses that they don't actually make us wear, we just have to have them with us. And so I use my safety glasses as like a headband to keep my hair up out of my face, because this, which people can't see unless, can't see it, but this is driving me nuts.
It looks like I think it's the longest I've ever seen your hair. One. And I mean, in my opinion, what you're rocking there from scalp to chin looks good. It's like a rough, it's almost John Mark McMillan-y, I would say. Look up a picture of John Mark McMillan. Like I can like side by side, it's pretty close.
That's one of the highest compliments you've probably ever given me.
Now you just got to make some really dope music and release it.
Yeah, that part's probably not going to happen, but...
Did you see, do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't know about Instagram.
Ooh, you should follow him on Instagram. He does, or has been doing in this lockdown, just like a whole bunch of covers and like acoustic versions of his songs. But he did like a handful of Bruce Springsteen songs, like Slowed Down and stuff. Oh man,
nice.
It was good stuff. If there's anybody that should do a Springsteen cover album, it is John Mark McMillan.
I'll have to check that out.
For sure.
I follow him on Twitter, but Twitter is like Satan's butthole right now. So.
It's the worst right now.
Yeah. It's just depressing and
oh yeah.
Just fuels the anger. Really, Facebook is the same way. I've said this before and I've done it before, but have never completely committed to getting rid of my Facebook because and actually now would be the perfect time. I usually keep it just to promote like photography stuff.
Yeah.
But now would be the perfect time to get rid of it because I can't do that because I can't do any photography anyway. So
I will believe that never that you will get rid of your Facebook because you said like, hey, I've gotten rid of it. And then 2 weeks later, you're back on Facebook again. Because you'll just you'll delete the app from your phone and that's it. You won't delete your account. Oh, you're going to do it right now?
I'm going to do it right now if I can do it through my phone. I don't know if I can do it through my phone.
Okay. A live deleting.
Can't wait. The thing is, they make it so hard to do it. Like it's hard to find.
I've heard that. I've heard that it's very hard to delete that.
Face recognition. I don't want face recognition from Facebook.
Right now, I'm watching
Pudge
try to figure out how to delete Facebook from his phone.
Like seriously, I don't know if they'll let you see that. But focus.
Oh, there it goes. Says no, you did something. Pudge is showing me his phone. It says
these are all the different settings that I have to try to find in one of these submenus.
There's pages and pages of submenus of account settings on how, and you have to just miraculously find the right one.
My goodness, this is ridiculous.
Facebook is crazy. It's a monolith. It's a monopoly on our privacy.
Okay, maybe this isn't the time to do it on
probably not
the podcast. But lo and behold, after this is done, I will find it and I will
delete
it. Yep.
Okay. I can't wait to see. I don't have a Facebook, but I can't wait for Emily to be on Facebook in 2 weeks and be like, oh, Pudge just posted something.
What's getting me right now is I'm having a hard time not replying and starting crap with just really ignorant people posting things about the lockdown and virus.
Right.
And like, it's people that are family friends that have known me since I was a kid. That I'm like, this isn't worth it for me to get into it, but they are so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yep. It's literally one of the most frustrating things that I've come across online is just people, the ignorance right now. And this time to be as selfish as that, to say like, I need my rights to be able to go out and go to a restaurant or to go out and get my hair done and all that stuff. Yeah.
I would love to go get my hair done.
Get that hair done. Get it did.
Want a perm?
But like, I think as crazy as I'm going right now, which I'm not going very crazy, but just as like cooped up as I feel. And I said on the episode that was deleted that like the beginning of last week, I went through like a little bit of a depressive stage. I think just from being cooped up like this. But even through all of that, it's just not worth it right now.
No,
it's really just not. And like everything I'm seeing is like this is going to be even longer into like 2021. And why would you not just do everything you can now to make it as short as possible? Because it is most likely going to be another year of stuff anyway. So going out right now is going to make it longer, like a year and a half or 2 years. And I don't want to be doing this for 2 years.
Yeah, me either. And that second wave is going to hit like a freight train.
That's what they say. Are you taking my picture?
I am. For the gram.
For the gram. Follow us on at my friend, I Trust You podcast on Instagram.com. How's that face?
That's better. Okay.
So I was scrolling through Indeed just while I was waiting for you to hop onto this Zoom call. And I found it, I am not qualified for this job. It's not really in my field, but it's just an executive producer at like a podcast place, a media company. And one of the requirements in their it's actually under their responsibilities thing on their ad is has been in ketosis at least once. I think
that's the requirement.
Yeah, I think they are like a health, like all of their podcasts are like health focused. So like they're talking about like health, like diets and stuff and whatnot. And apparently you have to have been in ketosis to apply to be well, I guess it is an executive producer job. So you have to know what you're talking about. If it was like an audio editor position, then maybe that's not important. But I just thought that was a weird thing to see on a job application right now, or a job posting.
And like how can you prove that?
Right. You could just say, "Oh yeah, I've been in ketosis." I bet they would ask you questions like, "How'd you feel? What'd your pee smell like?" That sort of stuff.
What's your pee smell like?
I don't know
if your pee supposed to smell different?
I don't know if it changes. I know nothing about being in ketosis.
So I don't think mine changed at all.
Were you in ketosis? Yeah,
when I did that diet a couple years back. That's
what is ketosis? Because I don't think I know. I think it's like where you deprive your body of certain foods and only put certain things into it, and it like cleanses.
I think it's when the body switches to burning your stored fats as opposed to the calories and carbs that you take in. And so like for me, when that happened, obviously my weight dropped dramatically pretty quick.
Yeah.
But also I was cold constantly. That's one of the signs.
Really?
Yeah, I was just freezing. Like I would be wrapped up in a blanket and like sweatshirt and sweatpants and Allie's and shorts and a cut off t-shirt because she's so hot.
Oh,
it was weird because that never happens.
That sounds like heaven to me. Honestly, I bet I would sleep so well.
Dude, I slept. That was the best I've ever slept when I was doing that diet. I should do it again, but that's one thing we could do for the podcast.
Go into ketosis together?
Yeah, both do keto and talk about our feelings. Like when we hit the keto flu at the first week, like just get on and just be complaining.
Emily did keto for a while.
Yeah.
And like, she thinks it like kind of messed up her body coming out of it because she's not doing it anymore. Yeah. And like just what she's experienced on the other side of it. Cause like, I guess some like for keto, it works well with some people and it doesn't really react well with other people. And also she's not she's not big at all. So I think keto is mainly for like losing a lot of weight very quickly, and she doesn't really have a lot of weight to lose. So, but like coming out of it, like just the way that her body has reacted coming out of it has been strange. So,
yeah,
we're both just running our fingers through luxuriously long hair.
Her luscious locks.
We had I missed it. I was working, but Emily this week hopped on a FaceTime call with our small group from church. Our small group, and everyone of like all the wives in the small group besides Emily have attempted cutting their spouse's hair like within the past couple weeks. Yeah. And I am just I just don't ever bring it up, and I don't really talk about it. And like every time she mentions my hair, I just like, and then I quickly change the subject because I want to see how long it can get, because it used to be down to my shoulders when I like 3 or 4 years ago, and I want to try to get there again.
Is the main goal to do that, or you don't trust her to cut your hair?
Well, she has cut my hair once before and it did not go well, and I know that I will catch some flack for that. But what she wants to do is just like the top part, just like tie it up and then just buzz the sides, which I would probably allow.
An undercut.
Yeah, I'd let her do that because she can do that. But I'll tell this story. The last time she tried to cut my hair, like my sister used to cut my hair all the time. And like she learned from my aunt who was a cosmetologist. So my sister gave Emily just like a quick run through, and then she wasn't there and Emily tried to cut my hair and ended up giving me a way too short flat top pretty much.
I'm just picturing you with like the classic military flat top.
It was like that, like picture like the classic military flat top with just like a little bit taller is what it was.
Oh, that's awesome. I kind of want Allie to cut my hair, but she will not.
Why not? Is she just afraid to mess it up?
I think she's afraid to mess it up, and I think she thinks that I value my hair probably more than I do.
Mm. Gotcha.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like a good haircut.
Yeah,
like that just feels good.
Yeah,
but at this stage of the world, I am about to just buzz it.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen you buzzed in a while.
Yeah, I used to. That was what my haircut used to be.
Yeah, it was just a buzz.
Yeah, just a buzz. My cousin actually just went like razor bald.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ethan did?
Yeah, Ethan did.
Oh, no. I'd like to see that.
Actually, I think I have a picture. I'll send it to you while we're talking here. But yeah, I don't know if I can fully commit to that, even though now would be the time to try things because you're not going anywhere.
Right. Like, I'm sure that I'll get to the point where I just let Emily cut the top of my hair as well. Just because I don't ever see anybody, and it's fine. I have a buddy who he kind of started thinning in high school, and then after high school, like his hairline just started to recede a lot. And like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, he just decided to do the razor bald. He looks so good now. Like it's an improvement, because like before it was like his hairline's all the way back here. It's really thin, and now he just looks like a tough guy. Yeah. Like he did a side-by-side of the assassin guy from
the Hitman series?
The Hitman series, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, I see it now. That's cool. If I ever start to bald or thin, I'm just going straight shave.
Same. Just going to grow a big beard.
Yep. You got to have the big beard and the bald head, and that's a great look.
Oh yeah.
That's a look that says, don't mess with me.
Yes.
That's a look that says, stay 6 feet away from me. You just sent me this picture of Ethan. I don't even recognize him. It also has been a while since I've seen him, but
yeah,
gosh dang.
That's like bald.
Wow. Looks good though. Looks really good.
Yeah. So listeners, just shave your heads, send us your pictures, and we will review them on the podcast.
We'll rate them. Yeah. Either that, or like if I start to bald on the top, I'm going to do like a hardcore, like very shiny, just the top part, and then hair on the sides.
The horseshoe?
Yeah, the horseshoe.
You're going to commit to the horseshoe?
Yeah. Was that
Nice.
like a thing? Because like 80s, 90s, you saw a lot of that. Why did people
Like
not just
purposely?
Yeah, I think so. Because like I'm thinking like Mean Gene from WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He had the horseshoe. You know, Hulk Hogan had he wore a bandana all the time. I think he was in denial, but he wanted to keep his long hair.
He still does.
And still does. But like, I've seen that so much before. It like just on the top, very clean, shaven, or just like very wispy, and then sides, full sides, horseshoe.
I don't know that.
And you don't really see it much anymore.
I think the reason you don't see it much anymore is those guys are just giving up and taking it off because like styles have changed, I think.
Right. So what are dudes in their 40s now or 30s now doing? Just shaving?
Like if they are doing that, like if that starts happening to them?
Yeah.
I think probably.
But I feel like
or there's more progress with products that fix that. Like I constantly hear those advertisements.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. Because I don't feel like I've seen an uptick in totally bald people. You know?
True.
Like mid 30s or 40s guys doing the shave. So technology must have taken a bump in the hair department.
I just love how this is what our podcast content consists of.
Well, this is what happens. I haven't
seen very many like horseshoe bald people recently.
This is what happens when we record a podcast 2 days in a row.
Use all of our material the first day.
We don't have anything to talk about. But it's been 2 weeks since we've done a podcast, so I wanted to put one out this week.
For all you listeners, know that we're sacrificing this. We're struggling through this for you.
That's right. I just got an email. I constantly get emails. So when I was in middle school, I put an ad in the Yellow Pages, I think, because it was free, for Arrowhead Recording Studios, which was just me in my dad's shop with my computer and some mics. But I wanted to like try to record some people. And I still get emails all the time from people curious to know if your company could use help answering incoming calls during and or after hours. It's an inbound call answering service. And it's from different people all the time.
Huh.
So maybe because I was in the Yellow Pages.
I had never thought to advertise there.
In the Yellow Pages? I didn't. Yeah. I was in middle school. I wasn't too, like, we didn't really have the internet. Like, I was stealing my neighbor's Wi-Fi in middle school. Like,
I do remember that.
If I put my laptop in one specific spot in the house, I would get my neighbor's Wi-Fi that was like an acre and a half away from me. And it was real bad because we just didn't have internet for the longest time. But so that's what I did because I didn't really know, like I didn't have any social medias or anything, and I didn't really know what else to do. It was just like, okay, I see the phone book. Oh, the Yellow Pages. Okay.
Was Yellow Pages the business and White Pages were like personal people? Is that how that worked?
I think so, yeah. Yellow Pages were like in the phone book, all the businesses of the area.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But there was like
I just remember.
There's an online Yellow Pages too, which is what I did.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember prank calling people from the White Pages.
What would you do?
At like sleepovers and stuff.
The classic.
Well, we would look up our teachers from school.
Oh no.
And call them at like 2:00 in the morning and like try to sell them stuff. Like one guy we tried to sell a double barrel shotgun to.
What age was this?
We would do that, or that would have been probably 8th grade and freshman year, that kind of age range.
So it's like a voice like, would you like to buy a shotgun maybe? Just like a high pitch. Obviously a
Yeah,
kid.
basically. Yeah, a little squeak here and there.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember one teacher. This is our friend Chapman.
Oh yeah.
He called, and the teacher picked out his voice like right away. Say, Andrew Chapman, and hung up real quick. He had kind of a distinctive voice. So.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
were you just doing the classic pranks, like is your refrigerator running? Better go catch it. Sort of
I'm
stuff.
sure we did that too.
Selling a shotgun is so much better, though.
We tried to tailor it to the specific interests of the teachers that we knew. And so the teacher with the shotgun, we knew was like a gun guy. He hunted a lot. And so I think it was like a triple barrel shotgun, like a prototype that we wanted to send him to review or something. He wasn't having it.
Oh, goodness. Oh,
But
man.
that was probably the most harmless prank that we would do.
What were the more harmful?
We did egging a lot.
Really? You were an egger?
Yeah, we would go to Kroger and buy. Have you ever seen the like 48 egg cartons? They're like squares.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, probably 2 feet by 2 feet. And so we would buy like 4 of them.
Oh my goodness.
And we would drive around our town, and like the people in the back seat would have each person would have a whole tray of these eggs.
Wow.
And we would drive around and throw them at like cars and stuff. It was really bad. It was dumb. But I remember, excuse me, one night we pulled into an apartment complex and a van was coming towards us, and like they turned in to park. And as we were driving by, the guy sitting in the back seat took an egg and chucked it at the back window of the van that just pulled in.
No.
We're like, you idiot. So we take off, and like they pull out real quick and go the opposite way. And how our town was set up, there was one 4-way stop in the middle of town that like you had to go through if you wanted to get out of town or wherever. And there's a gas station there. So we pulled up to the 4-way just in time to see the van pull into the gas station where the sheriff was sitting.
Oh,
and like
no.
pulled right up next to the sheriff. Yeah. And so we take off, and our town was up on a big hill. And so we're going down the hill, and we had like toilet paper and like plastic forks, like all of the stereotypical we're out up to no good things in our car. As we were like driving down this, the big hill, our friend who was driving was one of those, like he would not break the speed limit for anything. And so we just have these trays of eggs that we're throwing out the window driving down the hill. Like we take toilet paper and throw it out the window, and it's like streamers because it catches the wind, you know?
All your
All the while
contraband.
he's doing like 5 under the speed limit. We're trying to get him to go faster. But we pulled in to his driveway, which is a real long one, and like got around the corner and turned the lights off just in time to see the cop fly by us down the road, like looking for us.
Wow.
That was probably the closest I came to ever actually getting in trouble for anything. But
Oh, man.
the same friend who threw the egg at the van, also then later on, he was driving. We had his mom's like SUV she had just gotten. For whatever reason, she let us take it. And he was driving and reached over to the passenger seat, grabbed an egg, and went to throw it out the window. And his aim was off, and it hit the corner of the windshield inside and just got everywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was kind of dumb. Of course, we all were.
Oh,
Shouldn't
yeah.
be egging people.
Yeah, egging, I feel like, is one of the worser things you could do.
We were such tools that we would open open up the door on the mailbox and throw an egg in and close it.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. I feel really bad about all of that.
How inconvenient is that? Because like, I think about it like if you were to do that to my parents' house, I know like where their hose is, and it isn't long enough to reach to the mailbox. So that's like you got to fill up a bucket and scrub it out yourself instead of just like getting a hose on it.
Yeah. It was not the smartest thing I've done. We would also take for sale signs out of people's yards and put them across town in someone else's yard.
That's hilarious.
Which that one's a little less harmless. Like it's inconvenient and definitely like a dick move, but I just imagine little kids waking up one day, like looking outside and their house is for sale and like their whole world just exploding.
Mom. Oh man. I used to, with my friends, we would go and get toilets. Like if a toilet was just by the side of the road, just for trash pickup, we would collect it and we would put it.
Disgusting, by the way.
They were mostly clean. Like we didn't get dirty toilets.
They're just used.
Yeah, they were just used. There's not poop in them. But we would get the toilet and we would go put it somewhere. The craziest place I think we did was on top of, there's like, it's the size of an outhouse or of a porta potty that sits next to railroad tracks at intersections. And it's a big steel place, I think, where they keep like electronics and stuff for the tracks. And we put one on top of there. I wasn't part of this, but my group of friends that I did that with, I wasn't there at the time, but they put one on railroad tracks right as a train was going by, and it exploded the toilet, which is probably super illegal to do. We would go put toilets in teachers' yards and stuff. One time, my buddy from high school had a big like drainage pipe, like a huge drainage pipe that like you could fit 6 people in. And he would have people over like big parties at his house, and people would get inside this thing and roll down his hill. And then you'd get like all dizzy and stuff. But that was like a huge thing because we went to a very small school. So the tube was a big thing of popularity when I was in high school. And me and a group of friends went and stole the tube from him late at night and stored it at my other buddy's house. And he was so pissed about it that he called the cops, or threatened to call the cops. I don't know if he actually did, but I think he threatened to. And we're like, okay, fine, we'll give it back. He's just so protective of the tube.
Did you guys do any senior pranks?
I can't remember if my class did, but one of the classes, I think it was 3 or 4 years before us, had put a alarm clock set to go off at 1 p.m. like up in the ceiling, because we had those drop down tile ceilings at our school.
Mm-hmm.
So they like put it up like in that, like up on top of the wall. So they like pushed up one of those tiles right next to the wall in between 2 classrooms, which was just like a white cinder block wall, and put it up on top of that wall. The clock ended up falling, and they put the alarm on it for 1 o'clock. The clock ended up falling into the wall, so you couldn't take it out. So every day, either at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending on when the time change was, this clock would go off. And you just have to, and it was so loud in that wall for some reason. It was so loud to the point where like you had to pause class and just wait for this thing to go to sleep. So that's the kind of prank that keeps on giving, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you do anything senior pranky?
Well, I wasn't in an actual school for my senior year.
Oh, that's right. Well, did you do any senior pranks to your parents?
Some guys from what would have been my senior class from my high school, our gym teacher, boys gym teacher, was like kind of the stereotypical teacher who loves rules and was really particular about like your gym uniform had to be a certain way.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. He was also just like really creepy, and not very many people liked him. So anyway, he went and bought a mannequin like you would find in a store.
Creepy.
To demonstrate how you're like supposed to wear your gym uniform. Mind you, our gym uniform was just gym shorts and like t-shirt that you had to buy. Like it was all essential labeled or whatever. But it was just, you had to tuck your shirt into your shorts. That's it. But he had to have this mannequin that he would pull out if a class was getting too laxed on our gym dress code. So anyway, our locker room, his office was just outside of our locker room, and that whole area had drop ceilings. And so for the senior prank, it was like a group of 4 of them, and one of the guys was real small guy. He was probably maybe 5 foot, and so they lifted him up into the ceiling and sent him across over into his office and pulled up the mannequin up into the ceiling, where they basically took apart the whole mannequin and shoved it all in different backpacks. And they did this on like a Friday. And over the course of the weekend, they did a bunch of videos of this mannequin around town. Like at one point, they ordered a pizza and they put the mannequin in the door. So when the pizza guy got there, like it was just this mannequin dressed in East Central garb. So anyway, it was super funny. They got in big trouble. I think they got suspended for like a week or 2 because of it, because the teacher was so mad. But I was like, touche, guys. That was awesome.
Pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
I think the rest of the class jumped into our swimming pool and actually caused the stir so big that the swim coaches who had been there for like 25 years both quit.
Really?
Because the school wasn't going to punish the entire senior class.
Why'd they quit over it?
Because they were also really particular about their pool. Like they always called it their pool. And they were like, well, the pH balances are going to get all off. And And the school was like, guys, it's a senior prank. Like we're not going to not let the entire senior class graduate or something like that.
Right. Ease up a little bit.
Yeah. They were also, I might have told this story on the podcast. The teachers my older sister was a state champion in swimming, a very good swimmer, went to college for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the next child in our family to go through high school. And so in our gym class, we had a whole swim unit for like a month where we would do stuff in the pool during our swim hour or during our gym hour.
Mm-hmm.
And they assumed that since my sister was a great swimmer, I would naturally
it's in the family
also be
genes.
a good swimmer. Yeah, it's in the family genes. And so we were learning different strokes. And I think it was a backstroke or something like that. He was talking about it and he's like, all right, Jordan, why don't you hop in and demonstrate that for us? And in my mind, I'm like, okay. But I got in and I didn't make it 3 feet. He was like, all right, get out. I was like, I am not a good swimmer. I don't have the physique to be a good swimmer. I played baseball.
The disappointment from him was palpable.
Yes, you could feel the disappointment of, oh, wow, what happened to this kid? He probably thought like in our family, we were all like awesome athletes and swimmers. And then there was me, like the second middle child who couldn't do anything.
I like music and art.
I about drowned during the water polo section.
Water polo is ridiculous.
Dude, it's fun, but man, I about drowned because like they made us play in the deep end.
Yeah, like professional water polo players have to be some of the most in shape people in the entire world because you're literally just swimming for 2 hours.
Just like my nightmare.
I know.
We to further demonstrate how much I don't like swimming, when we would go to camp,
yeah,
we would literally get life jackets and just float.
That's just because it's comfy. That's just because there's nothing better than getting a life jacket on a hot day and just floating in the deep end.
But that is my idea of swimming anytime.
That's what swimming is to you.
That is swimming to me.
So the swim coach was like, Jordan, why don't you demonstrate the backstroke? And you're like, I don't see any life jackets around here. I thought we were going to be swimming. That's what you should have done. You should have been like, can I get a life jacket, please? Where's my life jacket? Then he would have known.
Just hop in and just go straight to the bottom and not come up.
Oh man. Isn't your sister's husband, he's from Germany?
Mm-hmm.
Am I completely remembering this wrong, but wasn't he in the Olympics or close to that? Or am I remembering
I
that
forget.
just completely
It was
wrong?
like the qualifiers to be the team from Germany to represent Germany.
Gotcha.
So he wasn't actually like in the Olympics, but
What is his sport?
he was on the for that, I think it was the bobsled.
Oh, that's
in that
awesome.
particular instance. But he was a decathlete. And
Okay.
so he did a bunch of different stuff. But
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah.
So their family is just destined for greatness because you got a super good swimmer and then a decathlete.
yeah, those boys probably have a lot of expectations to live up to.
Who knows? Maybe they'll be into music and art.
That would actually be really funny. Not that they wouldn't be loved any less.
Right.
but
And they would be exceedingly good at it.
yes. It would just be kind of poetic justice.
Oh, hey, so we're on Zoom now. I figured out how to do the backgrounds different, but you need
Yeah.
to have I would need to hang like a sheet behind me. It needs to be one solid color because
I gotcha.
I'd also tried to do the video. We switched to Zoom because we wanted to try to do a video podcast. It didn't work at all. It was like, it was sped up for some reason when I exported it.
Really?
Yeah. But
That's odd.
I put on, you need a solid background. And if you could see me, you could see behind me, there's a wall and then a door. And I put on the background and it only showed up in the door. So it looked like I did a space one. So it looked like the door was open just to space, which was pretty cool. But
That's actually pretty cool.
very Zathura-esque, if you remember that movie from
I don't.
the early 2000s. It was like Jumanji, but way worse.
In space.
And it was like Jumanji in space and way worse.
Yeah.
But still pretty good. What have you been doing this quarantine since I've last talked to you just to keep yourself from going crazy other than obviously you get to go to work every day or have to go to work, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, not a ton. It kind of hit me on Friday, like the restlessness, or I don't know if boredom is the right word, but more so restlessness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I work 4/10s now, so I'm off on Fridays, which is really great. But like, I don't really have anything to do. Allie's still working. Even if Allie wasn't working, we still don't have much to do. Like, we can watch a movie, or
Right.
we don't own our house, so it's not even like we can do home projects, which this time would be great for.
That'd be the thing to do right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have watched a lot of Community on Netflix.
Nice.
Catching back up with that. Been playing some video games. Friday, I was like, you know what? I hit my limit on like the Netflix and video games. I was like, I need to do something with my hands. I need to go for a walk or something. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab my camera. I haven't shot anything for a long time. I was like, I'll grab my camera. I'll go on. We have a biking, walking trail in town. I was like, I'll go up there, go for a walk. This was like Friday at 1:00 or so. And I drove up there, and the parking lot to get on the trail was completely full with people parked in the road.
My goodness.
And I was like, well, that defeats the purpose, not only of the whole social distancing thing, but like any pictures I take, there's going to be stupid people in it.
Right.
And I feel awkward doing like street photography with people I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like I wouldn't want my picture taken. So anyway, I was like, okay, well, I'll go out of town. We got like a little nature preserve. I'll try there. Same thing. Just people like waiting to turn in to the parking lot. So I ended up just driving a big circle around our town, coming home, and walked through my yard for a little bit. Yeah, and then came back inside. And at that point, I was like, the whole creative like juice and charge that I had was just gone. I was like,
Yep.
So yeah, I mowed my grass yesterday for the first time this season.
Nice.
Yep. And it was really nice yesterday up here, but today it's like all doom and gloom, rainy and a little chilly. So
it's been doom and gloom here all weekend, pretty much. We had like
it makes it.
Go ahead.
It makes it so much worse, the weather.
I actually prefer it. Like if I have to be inside, I prefer it to be nice and rainy, because
really,
if it's nice and sunny out, then if it's nice and sunny out and I'm inside, then I feel lazy and like guilty that I'm not outside because it's nice. So
are you saying if you have to be inside?
If I have to be inside, or just if I am inside. If
Okay.
I am inside and it's nice outside, I feel guilty and like, hey, I should probably be doing something.
Okay.
And I think that stems from my childhood, to get therapeutic on the podcast. I think that stems from my childhood and like weekends when it would be nice and I just wanted to be inside playing video games or something. And my dad would come in and be like, what are you doing? It's nice outside. There's work to do. Let's go. And that's where that comes from, I think.
That's fair.
But even when it was rainy, I still had to go do work sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So what have you been doing?
So I'll give you like a typical evening of what happens here at the Moretti household. So, which is cool to say, by the way. Freshly married. I will be working. Emily will get home typically around 5:30 or 6. She'll change, wash her hands, because I make her do that. And then we'll go out and we'll take a walk, typically about a half-hour walk. Come home. I will typically cook supper, or we'll just do leftovers or whatever. We'll watch a couple episodes of Wicked Tuna on the TV. And then
I just think it's the funniest thing that's what you guys are binging right now.
it's so addicting, man.
I love that show. It's just hilarious to me.
I'm so surprised that Emily likes it as much as she does. But we are like, we are heavily invested in that show and the people and the boats. And like, I bet that we could have a conversation with one of those fishermen about fishing and be like, and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. What kind of bait you using? What kind of, oh, you're using a Taskmaster 8000 reel. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But, we do that. We watch a couple episodes of Wicked Tuna and then we work out. She can't do like the men's workouts, like the heavier, more intense workouts. And I don't think I could either. I'm so out of shape. So we do this girl on YouTube. We follow her videos. Her name is Rebecca Louise. Shout out to Rebecca Louise. And she's just like a very peppy girl on a yoga mat with very light weights. And we do stuff like punches and curls, depresses and stuff. And she's very motivational. It's actually super helpful for her to be like, you got this. You can do this. It's all, you're here and that's the best thing. Now give me a smile and say, I can feel the burn, Rebecca. So it's actually super helpful. But like, I'm good on arms. I can't do a ton of leg stuff very intensely because I have really bad knees. So like squats and lunges hurt a ton. It's like ice picks in my knees. And then anything core, my core is so bad. What are you laughing at over there?
Real quick, I kind of want to put together a like bingo or drinking game list for the podcast. And like one of them has to be anytime Donnie mentions his bad knees or tendons.
That's true. That's true. I mentioned him a lot.
Sorry.
For a while, Zacho was making a bingo thing for us.
Oh, that's right.
It's like Donnie mentions his knees, Pudge wheezes. That sort of stuff. So we'll do that. The core ones absolutely kick my butt. I have 0 core. We'll shower and then we'll typically go to bed and we'll watch TV in bed until she falls asleep, and then I stay up till about midnight or 1 a.m. playing Call of Duty on my phone. That's a typical evening for us. Like that's, I would say 9 times out of 10, if you give us a shout on a weekday, that's what we're doing in the evening.
That's fair.
Which isn't bad. It's not a bad life for now.
No.
But yeah, I've been doing a lot more cooking, and doing like more intense cooking. Like my cooking skills have gotten a lot better. I've done a lot of stuff that I've never done before within the past couple weeks. So learning new stuff in the kitchen is really cool. That creative outlet is nice to have right now. And then today we had an awesome lunch. Like it was a legit Sunday lunch, which I haven't had like a legit Sunday lunch since I lived with my parents. But like she got bone-in pork chops from the grocery store. We lucked out, got some good meat.
Nice.
Last night, she threw those in the crock pot with some cream of mushroom soup, let them cook all night. Boy, were they good. And then she made some freaking amazing garlic mashed potatoes and corn. And I made gravy and smother all that good stuff in gravy. And oh man, I'm almost in a food coma right now. I'm leaning back in my chair. I'm a little sweaty. That's how you know that it's been a good meal.
Got the meat sweats.
Got the meat sweats a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I feel fat because I ate too much. But yeah, so that's quarantine life for us. You said in the last episode, Allie's been reading a bunch, that she's like 80 books in this year.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite 80, but like it's at least 40 or 45.
That's insane.
Yeah. Which is great. Like, I hope our kids are like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a reader. I've just
Why do you not like
accepted
reading?
it. I don't know. I'm sure part of it is like my attention span that I need to work on. Like, I think that's a learned behavior.
Gotcha.
And like if it's something I'm genuinely interested in, I can sit down and go for it. But like I read a lot. Like if I do read, it's a lot of nonfiction.
Yeah.
There's very few fictional books that I can get into. But I mean, I can listen to audiobooks. Excuse me. At work, like I listened to Apollo 13.
Nice.
In the last month, which is a pretty solid book.
Nice. Right now I'm in a series of nonfiction books, and the one I have coming up, I'm really excited for work. This is for work. But it is called The Kidnap Years. So apparently, in 1917, there was was it flu epidemic? It wasn't flu.
Yeah. Like Spanish flu
epidemic that killed like 1 million people plus. And they say that that's like one of the things that ended the First World War, was this insane flu that just swept the world, kind of like what's happening right now. But during that time and the resulting depression that caused that, like from that time to the depression, or maybe it's just the depression, I'm remembering it wrong. Don't look to me for facts. It might have been just during the depression. I can't remember. But apparently during that time, back then, early 1900s, there was a string of like thousands upon thousands of kidnappings that just went either unreported or unfound. And I'm really excited to dig into that and see what that was all about.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good one. But right now, the book that I'm about to finish, I'll probably have it finished tomorrow, is about a girl that used to be a ballerina. Like, she was pretty predominant, and it's just like her biography, but it is so so painful to sit through because this girl is really, really good at being descriptive about the pain that she went through as a ballerina. And ballerinas, man, are no joke, I am learning.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough stuff. Like, she had, like, just the injuries that she had a dislocated pelvis that she continued to dance with. She broke her spine in multiple places. That pretty much ended her career. But there's, like, when they go up on their toes, they wear special point shoes, they're called. And then going up on your toes is going on point, or on pointe if you're talking the French. And that, like, you're just standing on the very tip of your big toe, basically, is what that is. And, like, the broken nails and the blisters and the bleeding and just the pain. It's crazy. And when she was a kid at ballerina school class, she would stretch her feet because she didn't have good arches. And that's another thing ballerinas do, is they, like, contort their bodies because, like, there is, like, this is what the perfect ballerina body is. So, like, everybody that's a ballerina tries to achieve that. And she didn't have good arches, so she would bend her feet, like, toes toward the heel, you know? And she had a friend helping her. Like, the friend would typically just take her feet and push them down. But she started getting more flexible, so the friend started sitting on her feet to push them down to make them go farther. And one day she was doing that, and you just heard a and her foot just broke.
No thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sitting here working on this book, and it's making my knees, to talk about my knees again, just hurt all day long, because it's like that sympathetic pain, you know? Like, somebody starts talking about, like, I broke my spine, and then you're like uncomfortable in your back, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's no joke, man. My respect for ballerinas has gone through the roof since working on this book.
Man.
Definitely not something I could do. Just the flexibility that you have to have. I'm not at all flexible.
Because of your joints.
My knees, yeah, specifically knees.
Your tendons.
My tendons. Oh, yeah, tendons. I haven't talked about my tendons in a while, though. That's all healed up.
I'm really glad to hear that.
It took 2.5 years, but it finally healed, my foot tendon.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, hey, do you want to do what we did last episode that we're not going to air because...
With the musical instruments?
Yes, that too. But also the 3 things that we're thankful for.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go back and forth and say 3 things that we're thankful for right now in this time of quarantine, because there's a lot of negativity out there in the world right now. And we don't want to be a harbinger. Oh, I said it perfectly last episode. Harbinger of fear and negativity. We want to be a place that you guys can come to and laugh for a little bit, hopefully take your mind off of things. We want to be your escapism in this time of life. So we're going to go back and forth 3 things that we're thankful for. Pudge, you could do the same things as yesterday, or you could vary it up if you're thankful for new things, since we did this yesterday. So, Pudge.
Well, number 1, probably for both of us, is going to be our wives.
It's the wives.
My wife.
Yep. My wife.
My wife. Very thankful if I have to be stuck at home and not being able to see anybody.
Yep.
I'm thankful that I at least get to be stuck with my best friend, who just compliments me so well with
second best friend.
The dynamic of being basically stuck in a house, and, like, we just kind of know when one of us needs space, or it's okay if I disappear to what this room is. I call it my room for 3 hours and do whatever. Like, that's cool, and she can go and read. Just very thankful for that dynamic right now.
Yeah. That is also my number 1, is my wife, which is still cool to say and kind of weird to say at the same time. But I said last episode that we got married at just in the nick of time, and it's been really great just to be kind of like we don't have to make excuses right now to spend time together. You know, we are just always spending time together, and it's been really, really great. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe years from now, it'll be like we really got to learn a ton about each other really quick within that period of time because we were just forced to be together all the time. So right now, I think it's been good for our marriage and just strengthening our marriage. So I'm hoping that trend continues and we only grow and get closer and closer in this time.
As opposed to wanting to kill each other.
Right, and getting a divorce.
Yep. Number 2?
Yep, number 2 for you.
My number 2, I'll switch it up from yesterday's, is specifically the stuff that John, I can never say his last name right, Krasinski, Jim from The Office.
Krasinski, yeah.
What he's doing.
Dude, his
right now, like with the good news or some good news,
SGN. Those things make me cry, dude.
Yeah,
I will watch those videos and cry.
It's so needed in this time, and how he went above and beyond for the high school seniors this year who didn't get to go to prom.
Yeah,
and like made that whole night for them. Like, I think that's so cool, and an example of someone using his influence really well right now.
Yeah. If you don't know what that is, John Krasinski, who played Jim in The Office, has his own YouTube channel, and he basically made a news program with like 15-minute long videos where it's nothing but positivity, and there's no negativity on there, and it's the best. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. My number 2, I'm going to switch mine up too. I'm going to say for the church that we're involved with down here, because they have been super supportive. Our small group has been really supportive. And if it weren't for them, like the people that I text with, and then whenever I podcast with you, that would be my only interactions with people other than Emily. But having that church group of just people, that community of people just checking in with each other, and then also getting just a weekly or sometimes twice weekly sermon from our pastor is just, it's refreshing to me in these times. And just is always a little bit of positivity in the week. So that's my number 2.
Cool. My number 3 is, the severely underpaid essential workers right now. And that would be specifically grocery store workers who keep people fed. And obviously there's a lot of people you can be thankful for and should, healthcare, all that other stuff. But those people who don't feel that they're being valued enough as essential workers, who very much are. And so grocery store employees keeping the shelves stocked as best they can, so that way I can have an afternoon snack.
Yeah. Nice. My 3 right now in this very moment, I'm going to say board games. Just because I'm going to, as soon as we're done podcasting here, I'm going to go see if Emily wants to play Ticket to Ride, which has been a favorite of ours recently. We recently started playing Yahtzee. Because, again, going back to number 2, our small group leaders went around to everyone in the small group's houses and gave them a box for Easter, which had little Easter eggs in it. And in each Easter egg was a piece of candy and then a date night idea of something you can do like just within the house. And then
that's really cool.
Also, Yahtzee cards, so you can play Yahtzee. So we've been playing a lot of Yahtzee. So board games and just stuff like that is interactive between the two of us that is not Wicked Tuna. So
not tuna related.
Not tuna related. That's my number 3.
That's awesome.
Which, by the way, Ticket to Ride is a dope game. If you've never played Ticket to Ride, it's pretty fun.
We just bought it a couple weeks ago.
Nice. Has it caused arguments for you guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because neither one of us, we're both sore losers.
Yeah. Yeah. I will get like legit upset with her if she blocks where I'm trying to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I will legitimately like be a little bit pissed.
Me too.
All right, man. Oh, gotta do the music out.
We do. I gotta grab my guitar.
Okay. Pudge is gonna grab his guitar. I used to be able to do a train thing, but I can't do it anymore. Pudge is getting his earbuds back in. Have you ever seen people put a harmonica in their mouth and just hold it with their teeth and their lips like this? So that whenever you breathe, it sounds, and then somebody like whacks their knee with a hammer or something.
I have not.
It just causes them pain because then they're in extreme pain, but it's like, it makes it kind of funny. All right. So a little surprise for you listeners. Pudge learned the intro, our theme song, on the guitar, and I learned it on harmonica. We legitimately learned it. So I know that we say all the time, hey, I learned it, and then it's just crap. Well, not this time.
It's going to be perfect.
We learned it, okay? All right. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. Just search us. You're My Friend, I Trust You podcast, and we'll come up. All right. Oh, what is that? I know that song. What is that?
It's what hurts the most.
What hurts the most?
Hurts the most. Yep.
You know what song?
The OG sound check of the OCC worship team. I'll
right.
take that back. Bye bye, little Sebastian.
That's true. Yeah. You know what song is almost always in my head? Is I love the country that's in inside past the honky tonk
with the county line. Don't stop playing out in the 4th of July.
Or recently, I've been listening to a lot of 90s country whenever I do like my sweeping and stuff. That's a night that the lights went out in Georgia. That guitar part in there is dope. I love that guitar part.
It is. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.